Thank you for joining us for the swearing-in ceremony. Congratulations to the incumbents. Really happy to have them back at the table. And with that, I will ask for an opening prayer. And I'd like to call upon Louis LaRose to say our opening prayer.
With a lot talking to the Creator. Now, Father, you called us together in the historic day of the tribe. We're moving into historic times, and this tribal council will have a lot of work to do to respond to the needs of the people. Either through elected council members, the courage and strength to carry on the traditions of the tribe. Bless the people, bless the children, bless the veterans, bless those that are on duty with the tribe in this country. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Louis, and thank you for all those for being here with us. At this time, I will turn it over to the judge to call us to order. Good morning, Judge Renke.
Good morning. Congratulations to the newly appointed person and elected members. Go ahead now and we'll swear in the newly elected members. So I could ask you to raise your right hands and I'll administer the oath. We get it? I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and bylaws of the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska in the state of Nebraska and Iowa, and that I will endeavor to perform faithfully all the duties of a tribal council member for the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska, for which I have been elected. So help me God. Congratulations. I guess I will now entertain a motion for nominations for chairperson.
Any second? Nominate Victoria Pukian as the chairperson for the Winnebago tribe.
Any? I have a nomination and a second. Any other nominations?
He seconded the nomination.
Yes. Yes, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Are there any other nominations? Okay. Hearing none, then the motion will pass. Congratulations, and I'll pass the meeting over to Chair.
Thank you, Council, for your support. I'm honored to continue to serve as the chair of the Winnebago tribe. At this time, I'll call for nominations for the vice chair.
I nominate Brian Chamberlain.
We have a motion by Louis LaRose to nominate Brian Chamberlain for vice chair. Do we have a second?
Second, Madam Chair.
We have a second by Kenny Mallory. Discussion. Objection. Do we have a second nomination for vice chair? Do we have a motion to cease nominations?
Motion to cease nominations.
We have a motion by Eric to cease nominations. Do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Rona. Discussion. By acclamation, Brian, you are vice chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Now I would like to call for nominations for our treasurer.
Madam Chair, I move Rona Steeler.
Brian Chamberlain motions to nominate Rona Steeler for treasurer. Do we have a second?
Second.
And a second by Kenny Mallory. Do we have further nominations for the treasurer? Do we have
That nomination cease.
We have a motion by Brian to cease nominations. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Louis. By acclamation, Mona Steeler, you are our treasurer. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We now move to nominations for the secretary. Do we have a nomination for secretary?
I nominate Lorelei.
We have a motion by Louis LaRose to nominate Lorelei Decora for secretary. Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Kenny. Discussion. Do we have a nomination for a second candidate? Do we have a motion to cease nominations?
Make the motion.
We have a motion by Eric to cease nominations. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Rona. By acclamation, Lorelei Decora remains the secretary of the Winnebago tribe. With that, council, I thank you for the support of the officers. And at this time, I call upon Judge Runge to swear in the officers.
I state your name.
I, Brian Church,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and bylaws
and the Constitution and bylaws
of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska
of the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska,
in the state of Nebraska and Iowa,
the state of Nebraska, and I
and that I will endeavor
endeavor
to perform faithfully
to perform faithfully
all the duties of the role to which you've been appointed
the duties of the role I have been appointed
for the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska.
for the Winnebago Tribe of Nebraska.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
So at this time, we're going to move on to the adopted members from the ballot. I want to thank all the membership who voted for our new members. We had a lot of the young relatives, the children on the ballot. Really happy to see them join the tribe. So with that, I ask for a motion to approve the adopted members from the ballot.
Make that motion.
We have a motion by Eric, and we have a second by Isaac. Discussion.
Yeah, may I ask, did all of the people that were on the ballot make it, or did some not make it?
They all
Need it.
They all, everybody that was on there made it? Okay.
Excellent. Thank you for raising that question, Kenny. All the children and members that made it on the ballot were successful in becoming members. Thank you to the membership for their support. So, all the babies. Any further discussion or comment? Objection. Motion carried 800. That was, resolution 22. 2303. So that was a motion to adopt resolution 2303. Thank you, Isaac, for that. At this time, I'd like to open up comments from the tribal council. I would like to express themselves. I'd like to start with our newly elected. Kenny, would you like to start? Any remarks to the membership?
Okay. I'd like to thank all the people that voted for me this time around. I've served on this council for 27 years off and on, and I never was on a council that had this much on their plate, what they have today and what's coming down the pike. I'm excited to be part of that. The other thing I want to say is that in those past 27 years, I used to always be vocal on most political issues, but lately, the council meetings I've sat at, I've seen the young people take the bull by the horns and really move this tribe forward. I enjoy listening to where they want to go, and I don't involve myself so much politically anymore. But I just hope that these next 3 years I can be more of a spiritual influence to you young people. rather than be one of the many voices. I see where you're going, and I'm really proud of that. And I look forward to the next 3 years. And I think you'll be my last 3. The other thing I want to say is that I seems like all those 27 years, I never won an election by a landslide. It was always close in my situations. But I think the Lord caused that to happen to make me humble at this table. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Kenny. Call upon Councilman Brown to make remarks.
Thank you. Congratulations to Eric and Kenny. I thank all the voters that came out yesterday and voted. I look forward to sitting here again, trying to accomplish great things for us all. We are a good tribe, but we can always do better, and we'll always try to do better. There's a saying, now what can we do? So that's what we do, and that's what I look forward to trying to do. Thank you all.
Call upon Councilman Arnell.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to the Creator for giving us this day. And so, with that said, I'd like to, jump on a bandwagon and say thank you to all the voters that got us back in here. We've come a long way in the last 3 years. And I think a lot of the people that have voted have seen where we've come. And I think that with that time, that the people see where we want to go. And, we always have our enrolled membership's best interest in mind, their safety, their health and welfare, and we're working on the hospital, emergency services, expanding all of that to accommodate our community with their lifestyle and the way they live and things like that. Even in the courthouse, we're trying to make that, more expedient in those legal cases. And so everything that we're doing, it's not just, easy things, easy decisions. It's decisions that sometimes raise controversy, not only in the community or at the table, but just, all over. And so we're also, we also are looking out after Indian country as well. We do have a voice in Indian country in DC. And so, I'd just like to let everybody know that we're doing everything we can for, our enrolled membership's best interest. And so with that said, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that took the time out to be here this morning and bear witness to another term for us 3 individuals, and reassure us that you're supporting us as we support you from this side of the table. So with that said, Pinigi kate sketche, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you for those comments. Now I'd like to open up the floor to our officers and start with Rona. Would you like to say anything?
I just want to say thank you to the community for being here today, and also for my fellow colleagues here at the table, to have the confidence in me being the treasurer again. It's been a learning experience. I know that it'll only get better from here. I'm like the person that always makes sure we stick to policy, and you may not be liked sometimes because I say no. But overall, I'm looking out for the whole tribe, the entire membership. So thank you again, and I'm looking forward to another good year.
Lola, to make some comments.
I want to say good morning to all of us. And I want to remember there's a family that's mourning today. Kenny, thank you for taking a blanket out to the family. I just look back in the last few years, and we've lost many tribal members. And we have families that are grieving. And I'm thinking about those tribal members and the grieving families. But somehow we made it through the worst of so far of this pandemic, and it's because we pray and we take care of one another. And so that's a blessing that we have as the Winnebago people in our 12 clans. I think some of the issues that are before this council, I'm thinking that the way the voters spoke is they want us to continue this path that we're on for the future of our tribe. One of our biggest issues we're working on going into this election is getting a third time to submit a bill to get our Iowa land back. That's still over there being held by the Corps of Engineers. Another big concern of the membership is they need housing. And we recently, working together with all our tribal entities involved in housing, we're going to build 14 new housing units on the south side of Thunder Way. And they'll be for low-income people, and they're going to start at 4 bedrooms. And they're going to be rent to own. Because we know that our members, if they know they're going to own this house, they're going to take care of it. We also, this has been on the down low. We ain't supposed to release this publicly, but we're getting a major, major grant. We're going to establish ourselves as our own internet provider so that we have internet services for all our tribal members on our reservation. That's coming very soon. So no more paying these big bills to Eastern Nebraska and whoever else. And then we have the opening of the Warhorse casinos down in Lincoln. And make no mistake, this table here is the ones who decides how that revenue is going to stream, is going to go. And the talk here with amongst us is it's going to have a direct revenue stream into the Winnebago tribe finance. So that we build the future that our members told us. We did surveys in these past years. The members told us what the priorities are. Housing, buy back land that's coming up for sale, education, and not just higher ed, but also vocational education, and our language and culture. So the members told us what to do, and so as a council, we've been working towards that. And sometimes we just have to sit and just kind of talk without calling to order or anything and hear each of our visions of what we need to go forward with. And I really enjoy that, especially because I feel like I'm listening to the younger people myself too. I like to hear from Isaac and Coley and Eric, and I enjoy that. But I just want to say that we look back at where we've been, and we know that with prayer and our people, we're going to go forward so that these little ones that just got adopted yesterday, they have a really good future. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. And let's keep going forward as the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska and our 12 clans.
Thank you, Lily. Over to Vice Chair to make some comments.
Good morning, everyone. As was said, I want to extend my condolences to Melissa's family. I had the opportunity of working directly with her for a number of years, and I have to say I was beyond shocked and saddened because, to be honest, I thought she would beat it. I thought she would be here with us a lot longer. But I also understand that she was going through quite a bit. And I understand that is now released from her. So my thoughts and my prayers, my deepest condolences are with her and her family. So I want to thank Kenny for taking that blanket out to them, extending our condolences as well. And as we move forward over these next days with her and her family. With the election that happened yesterday and the choices we made here today, I want to thank the membership for coming out and voting. I always advocate for our membership to exercise that right, because without the membership deciding who sits at this table, we would all basically be in a different place. So the people have spoken, and I am very, very proud to hear that voice once again. And also with the choice that was made among the membership to select me as the vice chairman, I'm honored to take that responsibility again. I hope that I've served you well over the past year, and I will continue to do my best in the upcoming year. What I do want to say for the membership who is here, and then also those watching online or who will watch this later, is that the general focus of what the tribe is going to be moving into and toward is going to include quite a bit more of advancement of the tribal members. Far too often we allow ourselves to accept only what is given and only what is allowed. But that avenue is going to take a different turn. Tribal members who get up and go to work every day, there's going to be opportunities that are opened in different ways. There's going to be a pathway to success. There's going to be a very different change in how we treat ourselves. And I'm really, really encouraged about that. Also, at the same time, Lorelei hit it best, and Kenny mentioned it as well. I've sat around this table off and on since 2008. It's kind of weird that I'm one of the more tenured tenured council members. But in that, this council that you see before you is one of the most pensive that I've ever sat with, if not the most. The thoughts, the discussion, the inclusion that happens at this table, I very much enjoy. To that point, Isaac said it in our last meeting, these chambers are open. And whatever opportunity you have to come participate, I invite you to do. Because as servants of the tribe, we take our orders from you. But you also must acknowledge we have to consider everyone when we make decisions. Do that in the best ways possible. We continue to open opportunities for ourselves and our own people, and that we understand the authority that has been given to us by our own people. So thank you, council. Thank you, membership. And again, my condolences to the families. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair and Council, for expressing yourself. I'd just like to get up as well this morning and thank the Tribal Council for your support for me to continue as the chair. I take this role very seriously. I see the frustrations of our membership. I see the frustrations of the council. And often we're doing everything we can to make it better. And we call upon, number one, the prayers and the decisions that were made before us that make it possible for us to sit here in this building and have these discussions. And we were reminded of that last week, or 2 weeks ago, we saw that one of the original treaties of the Winnebago tribe. And that was a very grounding experience. Kenny said humbling, and because it really brought you back to a place where it all started, and that it's our duty and responsibility to carry these forward in a good way. And then when we come into these chambers, we have to be thinking of all the Winnebago people and all the ancestors that sacrificed, put their life on the line, and starved went cold, went hungry, everything they did to make sure that we could still be here. It's a very deep thing that I hope that if you get the chance to see that treaty, you kind of brought to your knees on what it means to be a Ho-Chunk person and what our responsibilities are, not just being on the council, but to ensure that our people are going to carry on. And the decisions that this table makes is carrying that burden. And we lift up our people when they needed to be lifted up. And we're going to carry them forward when they need to be carried forward. And I think we're all here to make a difference. And what I really appreciate about each and one of you is that you've taught me something, you've shared your knowledge, you shared your wisdom, and you've encouraged this table to always keep the Winnebago people in mind when you make a decision. Always think about how that's going to impact tomorrow. And with us voting for all the children to be on the ballot, I know that our people's heart is in the right place, and they know that we're coming together as a tribe, and that anything that the Winnebago tribe pursues, we're going to be successful. And I feel that, and I see that in each of the folks that I get to sit with. And it's really my honor. It's my honor to get to sit here. And you can't take that for granted, and I absolutely don't. And so, we may misstep some days, but we have the willingness to get back on track, to rethink maybe something that we said, maybe something that we did. But I just want to reassure you that is with a whole heart, the Winnebago people are in the in the sacred hands of these prayers that we're carrying now. So I just want to say that I'm kind of getting off track, but I just really am reminded, especially on this day, what we're here for. And it's certainly not ourselves. It's certainly not to try to, help our families, because the Creator wouldn't have put us here if that's what we were about. And so I just want to lift you guys all up and thank you for being the kind of person that you are, and that we see our membership on their toughest days. We see them during their most difficult challenges, and each of you, with your compassion and your good feelings, provide that hope. And so it's going to be a good day because we're carrying that forward, and it's a blessing to get to do it with you guys. So that's about all I have to say. Isaac, I didn't call upon you. Sorry, I should have asked you because I know you always got something good to say, but I want to recognize Isaac as well.
I guess I want to start out by saying good morning to each one of you, and then I was going to sit in here and pulled my phone out and got some news that we lost another tribal member. So I'm going to keep my words short. But I wanted to send out my condolences to the families that are going through this at this time. And then sitting here at the table and being the youngest at the table, it's not easy because sometimes you think that you're not being heard. But today and through some of the other meetings, some of the thoughts and feelings and things that tribal members bring to me and I try to share with the table, they're being heard. And each one of us, any one of us can think that we're in charge of anything. But if you really think like an Indian, none of us are in charge of anything. It's the Creator that's in charge of it all. From the time we open our eyes, from the time our feet hit the ground here on creation, all them kind of things. But there's a lot of stuff that I see with our youth today. That's one of the things that I get scared about. Today we have some lady relatives that are missing. Their families don't know where they're at. So there's relatives that are going to be trying to do some things to locate those young ladies. And then today, if you look around our community and you're starting to see graffiti go up, that tells me that our young people are bored and they're off track. And so to try to develop and look at possibilities and ways to try to redirect their energy into good things. And then today you look at our community, how all there's the abandoned houses, and we got a lot of people that go around and they're living a real lifestyle. And a lot of those people that are like that, I used to go around, I used to drink with them. And then some of them aren't even here today because of that. And so one of the things that I wanted to try to get going is to try to shape up our programs that help out with addiction and mental illness. That's one of the things that even in my own family, very own family, I have relatives that today are really depressed and wondering about life and wondering all those things. So try to look at that and make my prayers that way to try to go into the minds of all of our people from the youngest to the oldest, that we could be able to come up with a solution and be able to clear some of the obstacles from these young people's paths so that the future of our tribe may be brighter. And another area that I look at is that we don't have a lot of people that are stepping up and encouraging each other. Our Ho-Chunk ways, they say that we're supposed to be arm in arm, hand in hand, help each other up, lift each other up. And if you see a child run out into the street, you holler at that child, get over here. But today, when they see that, then the parents get mad at each other. What are you hollering at my kid for? When they're only looking out for the best interest of that child. We need to kind of go back to that and be reminded of those things. They used to say that it takes a village to raise a child. We have a lot of these programs, over 32 programs that work with children today. But we have some of those children, they're not into sports. They're not into a lot of the things that we got going. So we're looking at these possibilities and these ways of getting our children more active, because when they're active, then there's an endorphin that's released. That's an antidepressant. A long time ago in the different villages and throughout the stories of the elders that would share those stories, they would say that as a young person, each person had a responsibility in their tribe. And when they would do that and fulfill that, they wouldn't have time to fill all them things. Your mind wouldn't be an idle. And so if you let your children go out and play like that, then they have that willingness, the endorphins released, the antidepressant. And then it's even been brought to the attention of the Winnebago Public School of they're going to be building a counseling center behind the school there in that cornfield that used to be a cornfield there. And so if the school is looking that far into it as let's build a building for counseling for the mental health of our children, then us as parents, what are we doing to help that home in our own homes? That's something where we need to step up as a community to try to explain the different things that our children are going to be stumbling upon and try to make those prayers to keep that path clear. The reason for that is because the things that we struggle with today as a tribe, you see them here at the table, you see them in our community. They're a lot different than what our elders used to struggle with. And through those prayers that the elders made today, our life's a little bit easier. We have different obstacles that we're facing now, different things that are going to be coming around. There's going to be a pipeline that's proposed that's going to be trying to come in on the northwest side of the reservation. We're going to need all the membership's help when it comes to that. So we're lining up some things to take that upon and make sure that doesn't happen. And there's stuff that's going on with our water treatment plant and with our water and sewer, all these different things. They say that water was our first medicine, and here we are. We're kind of going in circles with it. Real scary, because through that it could make all of us sick within 3 to 4 hours, the whole tribe. So as we move forward in looking at these things and how to come across solutions for them, that's something that we need to be mindful. And I want to encourage all the younger people and those that are here in the audience to encourage your younger family members to get involved in the community, get involved in all the different things, ask questions. I see that because I go around and I get to visit with some of the younger guys, and they kind of don't even know where to go or how to go about anything. So I try to help them out. But I just wanted to share that little bit of words with you guys and let you know that I look forward to getting some of these projects completed and taken care of. And I'm glad that the membership spoke, and this is who they wanted at the table, and put them back at the table. And I don't know if it was Kenny's Milwaukee Wieners or what. But I just wanted to say thank you to all of you and to the officers. I want to say thank you to you guys. Keep up the good work. And then maybe we could shift gears and get things done a little bit faster. But I just wanted to say about that much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. I'd like to open it up to the membership if anyone would like to express themselves. Louis? Sorry, Louis.
You know, I forgot me. Like I forgot items yesterday. Do I know how to prove I did?
Yeah. Put it
Hmm.
together.
I want to thank the creator for bringing these people back to the council. So, bringing back the office to the council. I promise you that I will work with you in common goals to meet the needs of the people. In the past, I've fought some tough battles for the tribe. You don't hear much of them, but we have with us. I used to be a young man, James Fosford. He's a Winnebago warrior. He fought the retrocession. He fought the reburial legislation, along with Bob Paraguay and myself. Three amigos, two stooges, whatever you wanted to call us, we fought. We won. And since at the tribe today, I want to introduce James Fosford. Stand up. And he was that part of it. Other than that, thank you, James, for all you've done for the Winnebago tribe. The council is on the verge of making major changes. It's scary. We have timelines. We've got to get it done. And we've got the people that can do it. The brother and I are the old guys. I lost the roots like 7. Had to sit and look around for about 3 years before I got over it and won. It was based on a lie. On a lie that I was in favor of a clinic instead of a hospital. He just sent me on a tour with my cousin Ramona. At the Yankton, this person we met was a guy that was my little brother's buddy. And they told us, EP Hospital, one go for a clinic. He went to Fort Hall, Idaho. My ancestors left Fort Hall and went to Fort Detroit. I got relatives in Fort Hall. They told me, EP Hospital, don't give it up. And to another revelation, he told us the same. The AA's plan backfired, and Ramona and I were in favor of keeping the hospital. We told the council that. I was told, the public was told that I was against the hospital. It was enough to take me down, but it didn't take me out. I kept hanging away from the hospital that we would control, and we wouldn't use the 638 funding. We had to solve the problems that the HS could brought to us before we could get it the way we wanted it. We have to do the same in law enforcement and make a law enforcement that meets the needs of the Winnebago people, not a copycat of the CIA. I see the future I see your future, and it's good. And we gotta roll up our sleeves. Bring our young people back. I'm proud of the young people we have looking for us. I encourage more. It won't be easy, but you can do it, and we can grow. And I know that you're not a starting based on Victoria. Victoria, you have my total support to lead this group. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis, for that support. That means everything to me. And thank you for the comments that were shared. And just by listening to what's on your heart and your mind this morning, we got work to do. And it's my pleasure to stand in hand with you and do that on behalf of the people. So with that, I'd like to call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Mr. Botsford, would you like to express yourself? Just to update some of the membership. Yesterday, Mr. Botsford came and visited the Winnebago tribe and met with some of the council. He turned over all his documents and knowledge and work through retro session, and he shared that with the museum. And additionally, he also shared his Reuben snake collection, which I think entails maybe some of your work and documents. So I'll let you share and just thank you for your friendship to the tribe, your work, and if Louis calls you a whole trunk warrior, then you're a whole trunk warrior. So I'll let you express yourself.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for this moment for me to express myself. Congratulations to all of you on the council, newly re-elected and one's already there. I've been an Indian rights attorney for 35 years or more, and the first 7 I spent here, under the tutelage of one of the greatest men I ever met in my life, Reuben Snake. That was the best job I've ever had in my whole life, was the 7 years I spent here. And it informed the whole rest of my life, the way I related to my own family. I learned a lot from my years here, fresh out of law school. First thing, I shouldn't even say this, but I came to meet Reuben when I first got here, just to introduce myself. I was going to run this little legal aid office out of Walt Hill, just me doing Indian law for 3 reservations. And Reuben said, I've been waiting for you. And at that time, I looked kind of young, and I didn't have any gray hairs until he got done with me. Then, we did so many things that I never thought we could do. Rep procession with Louis and Bob Fairboy really informed my whole life, changed my way of looking at the world, the way as I said, the way I related to my family. I learned so much here. I learned things about prayer that I never knew before. And it was just a great honor. And when Reuben was dying, he and Kathy said they wanted me to take his papers and do something with them. So I did, and then I don't know how to do this story in such a. I'm afraid I'm going to talk too long. I learned that here too, actually. So I put together all of his papers and audio tape interviews and documentary footage and everything. And I called the National Museum of the American Indian, which had recently opened at that time in the mid-90s. And I said, I have this collection, this Reuben snake material. Would you be interested? And man, they were all about it. They sent money out here for me to make copies of everything. Kathy and the three of the kids, and John Blackhawk was chair at the time. They put us on a plane, sent us to D.C., treated us really well. Had this big ceremony to hand over all this material. But being a good lawyer, before I did that, I made a copy of everything. And I kept it in my office in Wisconsin, and then when I retired, in my home. And then recently, I don't know how I missed this, but I just recently discovered you have this museum. And so I said, well, that's where this material should be. Because Kathy just kept telling me, well, just hang on to it, take care of it, something will happen, you know. So I called Sunshine Bear and I said, what do you want this material? And she said, absolutely. So yesterday was my great honor to present her with this. It's just a big box full of all manner of things. There's actually a little more than the Smithsonian has, things I've collected since. So you have a really nice collection of the things that he did, all the tribal chairman's columns he wrote for Win, and speeches he made, all kinds of things in there. So we're going to have a chore kind of sorting it out and making it accessible for everyone, but I was really glad to be able to do that. And then I bought some other boxes or other books to give to the library next door to the museum. I'm going to do that this morning and take my time going through the museum, which I didn't have a chance to do yesterday. So anyway, I'm just so honored to be here, and I'm just reminded the way you folks treat each other and the way you think about things. It just all came back to me sitting out here this morning with Jennifer, and I'm just so humbled. And what has happened with that 20-year plan that Reuben started, that like many of the other things he embarked upon, I thought were probably unlikely to happen. But here it is. The changes that have taken place here, the world you've created for yourselves, it's just remarkable. And I just so happy for you and happy to be here this morning, and thank you for this moment to speak.
Thank you, James. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for being a blessing to the Winnebago tribe, and being one of Reuben's answered prayers. So with that, just based on the mourners that we have in the community, we're going to adjourn now. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
There's a motion by Eric. Do we have a second by Brian? Discussion? Objection? Motion carried 8-0-0. We are adjourned at 10:57 a.m. Thank you to everyone.